Oh, thought I'd do a quick video. Something that I think isn't talked about enough. I don't normally do these kind of videos, so of course we're a little bit uncomfortable, but I think things need to be said anyway. Let's have a little chat about mental health. Two words that encompass so many different issues. And they talk about illnesses, all of these things that fall under the umbrella of mental health. I'd rather call them conditions rather than illnesses, and I'm only talking about my own experience of what I've suffered in the past and still going through. So my experience of depression and anxiety, that's my two conditions. Just calling that. Depression for me is like a it's like an odorless gas. Can't tell it's there, can't smell it, you can't touch it, you can't necessarily feel it, and it's something that builds up over time. For me it is. Builds up over time until recently. I would say probably the last 6 months. I've been in a rut of depression. Two different things for me. I very easily get stuck into a rut where I just almost like go through the motions. Every day is the same routine, the same things, and yeah, it's a rut. So it probably took me about 6 months. It was only about a month ago I realised that I was back to suffering from depression. And until you realise that, I don't think you can really do anything about it, because for me, I didn't realise I was in it. Friends, family and loved ones knew from within weeks of me kind of sliding into that depression that I was suffering from it. So yeah, it's an ongoing thing. It's something I'm trying to deal with without medication. For me, I've been on medication previously, years ago, and it was fine. For me, the medication levels you out into a plane, so it's just a level playing field. Whereas if you're not on medication and you suffering from depression, you end up with peaks and troughs oscillating back and forward, where you experience great feelings, good times, then within seconds or minutes you can be straight back into that trough of depression. So yeah, so that's me, the anxiety side of things. I never ever, I guess because it was never really it's not explained to you about anxiety. Everybody suffers. I have no doubt everybody suffers from it. Different strengths of it, different experiences of it. For me, it took going to a counsellor several years ago who specialised in anxiety to be able to identify when you feel like this is anxiety. And anxiety is different from depression. Depression, as I've described, is like odourless gas. You don't know it's there until you're in it. Anxiety is almost like driving your car and you hear sirens for an emergency vehicle, but you don't know where it is. And it gets louder, and as it gets louder, you then realise it's, if it's coming from behind you, it's getting closer and closer and closer. So for me, anxiety is like that. It's a build up, and you can feel it, you can experience it, you're able to identify it. And for me, being able to identify it is part of half the battle, because then I can deal with it different ways. But just being able to acknowledge it is certainly something that helps me, because I realise it and then I can deal with it. Yeah. So for me, I think being in a rut and depression is linked, from my own experience. Something that I thought of the other day was, if you stay in a rut, if you imagine this rut being a field, and the rut is a ploughed line, and it's just a straight line. If you stay in that line, it's so easy for depression to find you. It just follows that track and catches up with you. For me, it's about trying to do things either I wouldn't normally do, or I wouldn't do specifically at a certain time. So almost on a daily basis, I'm trying to do something that's different to make sure I don't fall back into that rut again. And it could be something as simple as, if somebody says hello to you in a queue in a shop, or has an opening line to a conversation, whether it's a 30-second conversation or a 2-minute conversation. Previously, I would just say, hello, and then that would be it. For me, a lot of times I live within myself rather than kind of pushing myself out there. So engaging in conversation, or the most basic things, like holding a door open for somebody, and I'm not talking about male or female, I'm just talking about in general good manners, opening a door for somebody, letting somebody through before you. All of these things can create different experiences than what you would normally experience on a daily basis being in that rut. And sometimes these experiences lead on to opportunities, or lead on to something you wouldn't have reached if you're in that rut. I hope this makes sense, because it's all kind of just, there's no script to this video. This is just top of my head things. And within this rut, you can almost feel like you're in a tunnel, or you're in a really big deep hole where nothing seems to be nothing seems to have an end to the darkness or to the numb feeling. And for me, the bolt of lightning about realizing when you're in that depression again is the first step for looking for the chink of light at the end of the tunnel, or the ladder, or the bit of rope that's thrown down the hole for you to hold on to. For me, that's my experience of it. And I think people need to be more honest and open about how they feel. Certainly it's very, very difficult. This is why this video is quite awkward for me, because I'm not an outwardly expressing type of person. My upbringing was absolutely amazing. My dad suffered from depression. I have no doubt my mum has suffered from depression in the past, but they are. My dad was, and my mum still is, very old school. I was brought up that, you know, men don't cry, and, you know, you don't express your feelings. And my dad was very closed off at times, and especially when he was in depression. And again, it's strange because I could recognise the signs of his depression, whereas I can't identify my own as quickly, which is how I think I can connect with my friends and family. And it's very easy to get into a routine of putting on a brave face, being when you go to work, being that happy, outwardly going person. Then you come home and you're the opposite. So it's difficult for me to talk about things, talk about my feelings. And it's only recently I've probably been more open, more honest about how I feel about things, about how I'm feeling that day. And depression is it can just, you can just wake up one day and feel blah. You know, you don't have any feelings about anything. You don't. Everything's grey. Everything's just dull. Everything is subdued, and you don't know why. It's just, that's how it can manifest itself. And I used to get frustrated a lot about feeling that way. And I'm more accepting that you get days like that where you don't feel you can appreciate things. You don't feel like going out in the sunshine. You don't feel like interacting with people. And it's okay to feel like that. Absolutely normal to feel like that. And it's just a case of accepting it and knowing that that's not going to be how it is for tomorrow, or next week, or next year. I don't know if you can hear, there's a car alarm going off outside. So it's I just wanted to share my experience, because as much as I do my streaming and do YouTube videos, and a lot of it is about, you know, simulation, things like that, I feel it's time people wanted to get to know me, got to know me better. And that comes, I have an amazing community within Twitch and within YouTube, Twitter, and things like that. So people know me. My community on Twitch are amazing. They don't judge me when I say I'm going to stream and then all of a sudden I feel blah. They know that they're very patient. They know that I will be back. I'll be there to do stupid things and streams and make mistakes and things like that. It's part of life. And for that I will be eternally grateful. But if this video reaches one person and makes them understand they're not on their own, or that they're not the only person in this world that feels that way, it's going to be difficult. I have felt that I was the only person going through, you know, depression, anxiety, and sometimes there's a relief that you know someone else has suffered or is suffering, and that sounds twisted, but just to know someone else has experienced that, actually something that can make you feel a little bit better about things. By the way, I have no idea why I put this random video on in the background. I was looking for something, and yeah. This is why you should have a script, because you really should know what you're talking about. Everybody suffers from one extreme to another. Things we experience in life at the time can feel 10 out of 10 for anxiety or depression or the worst part of their life, and then further down the line they experience something that's worse. So that first incident then becomes downgraded to maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10, which is how we learn and grow as humans. So if anything resonates with you and anything that I've said, then you're not alone. You're not alone. For me, it's always been difficult to talk to anyone about it, and sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is to talk to your closest loved one. For me, that's my experience again of it. And I don't know why, but I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying to make myself better about being able to talk about things and accept that if you have a blah day, then just one of those days out of 365 days. You know, if you suffer one day like that, then accept it, don't fight against it, because I think that sometimes makes you feel worse. And it doesn't need to be. These conditions, there's no on and off switch with them. Some days are better than others. Some weeks are better than others. Yeah. So this, I suppose, is maybe my start of therapy in terms of putting this out here, because we all know the internet, not the internet in particular, but people on the internet, keyboard warriors, people will make negative comments, people will make negative situations out of videos. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not looking for this is not a sympathy video, this is not a look at me, this is not a it's about me. It's not. not about me. It's my experience, putting it out into the ethos and allowing it to be what it is at the end of the day. I'd like to try and keep updating this because it'd be good for me to look back as well, see what days are like. Today's quite a good day. Got a concert to look forward to this week. Going away for the weekend, celebrating a birthday, not mine. And so I've got things to look forward to. I can't guarantee tomorrow's going to be the same, but take it a day at a time, see how it goes. Yeah. So, I apologise if this is a boring video. This is something that puts you to sleep. I'm not a jump around screaming at the top of my voice kind of person. Anyone that knows me knows that that's not me. It's I'm more reserved, but when you get to know me, I have quite a twisted sense of humour. Not in a bad way, but anyway, okay. Look after yourself because you need to look after yourself first. If you don't look after yourself, you can't look after anyone else or care for anyone else. So you need to look after yourself. Do something that's selfish. Doesn't mean to say you're a selfish person. You're looking after yourself. So look after yourself, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.